Bonjour, je m'appelle Sunny.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Alizé. Et aujourd'hui, on va faire les...
And now I remembered.
On va faire quoi aujourd'hui?
Crepes.
Oui, on va faire les crêpes. So crepes are a French recipe from Brittany, and it was started up there, but now it's like a very well-known recipe throughout all of France, right, Sunny?
And Mama, I have to tell them where they are. They're at France, and this part of France is called Portugal.
Well,
that's where the crepes are.
Well, there's some crepes everywhere in France now. And what are you wearing on your head?
A hat.
And it's called a beret. And whose hat was that?
Mommy.
That was my hat, right? All right, so there were two different kinds of crepes. There are sweet crepes where you put like sugar or crêpe Suzette or Nutella on there. And there are savory crepes called...
How would make the dough?
Galettes. And galettes are like, you can have ham and cheese, and it's made differently. The savory ones are made with buckwheat, and this is just made with a wheat flour. So let's start with this. I'll show you how to make it. Why don't you just dump this whole thing, which is about 3 cups, in the bowl.
But what about if we run out of it? We have to use it for bread or dough.
I know, well, we'll get some more later, okay? Does that sound good? Okay, put a big hole in there. Like right in the middle, big hole.
Are we doing the yolk?
We're gonna do all the eggs. There you go, so we're gonna put 3 eggs in the middle. And this has only a few ingredients.
Are we gonna do yolk?
Both the egg yolk and the egg white. So why don't you, before you do it, why don't you crack the eggs into this little bowl? I'm gonna do one too, if that's okay.
I got it myself.
Okay, good job, got one.
And can I do the white one?
Sure.
Sometimes I break them.
It's okay, as long as we're not having sunny side up eggs, right?
Yeah. Look how I cracked them on it.
That's great. And you did a good job cracking it on the solid surface instead of the edge.
I love it on the edge.
Right. One of the famous French chefs named Jacques Pépin always teaches us to put it on the flat surface when you crack an egg. But both are fun. All right, so you're gonna take those 3 eggs and put it right in the middle of the well.
Oh, I dump it?
Yep, dump it right in the middle there. So when I was a little kid, I grew up in Paris, and when my dad would send me off on the airplane, he'd always make me les crêpes for the airplane because airplane food made me sick. So that was always the tradition. Papa Poisy would make crêpes.
Okay,
and
now it's time to stir.
Since Sunny's helping me with this, we're letting him use one of these things. Usually you have to do it with a wooden spoon, but we'll let you go with a wooden spoon, but it's harder to do. Go ahead, just put it right in the middle here. And start it, not all the way to 6, just go to 1. And go, stay right in the middle. All right, and then little by little, you're gonna add some flour. Once things get a little bit hard to mix, you wanna kinda still stay in the middle. Go ahead and hold it up. Why don't you crack that beer open, Sunny Bunny?
Crack that beer open? Only not moms can drink beer, only dads can.
Apparently only dads can drink beer. So we're gonna actually put...
Like I'm gonna be a dad, I can drink beer.
When you get bigger, right?
Oh, this is so hard, I bet you cannot do this one. This part.
I'm sure most of these people watching can probably crack a beer. Good job.
Just like that.
Good job. And we're gonna use a light-ish beer.
Really on me.
It's okay. And we're gonna put it right in the middle, so we want it to become liquidier again.
Who's gonna drink dress?
Well, Daddy, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a half a can of light beer, nothing flavored, obviously. And then our last ingredient is going to be some milk.
Oh,
keep it going, baby.
Keep it going?
Yep.
I will pour.
So we're gonna start with about a half a cup of milk, and we'll probably go up to a whole cup at one point, and maybe more. So we use quite a bit of flour. My mom's here to visit, so we have more people eating les crêpes. So our other words that we can learn, how do you say eggs in French, Sunny? Les œufs, that's right. So we did 3 eggs, 3 œufs.
You forgot to say zit.
And we're doing le lait right now, milk.
Yeah.
And And then the last thing we did was beer. And how do you say beer in French? La bière.
La bière.
Let's do a little bit more milk in here. We're probably at almost 2 cups. I did a lot of flour. So I think it looks just about done. Why don't you turn it off? And we're just gonna see the kind of the consistency with the spoon. So you want it pretty thin, just like that.
Or do I have to take this off now?
In a minute. So one thing that you don't want is like the flour pockets when you make les crêpes. So you have to make sure it's nice and smooth. So that's the challenge of using the wooden spoon the traditional way. But with these egg beaters, it's pretty easy. So the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna stick this in the fridge for about an hour to 2 hours. And then we're gonna start cooking. Sound good?
Yeah.
How does it taste?
Good.
So we got our batter out of the fridge. It's been in there for about an hour and spun it around with our whisk. You ready?
Yep.
So the first thing we're gonna do to cook is our pan is nice and hot. So we're gonna put some butter on the pan. Let that sizzle a little bit. And then I usually take a paper towel, and this can be hot, so you gotta be careful, and just like spread it around perfectly. All right, now we're going to take about a spoonful of this. I hope you can see it over on this side. Over here. And then spread it around by going all the way around the pan. And you want this cut to be nice and thin.
But you have to put some milk in it.
Yep, we had to add a little bit of milk to make the batter just a little bit thinner. So make sure it's thin, and this is gonna cook quite quickly. A couple of things that we do on the stove, if we do like the traditional butter and sugar, we put that right on the stove. Some other really good toppings are Nutella. You can do raspberries and whipped cream, or strawberries are in season with some whipped cream. That's also really yummy.
Or we can do it like butter and banana.
Butter and banana would be good.
We tried it with butter and banana.
So that's gonna cook pretty quickly because my pan is hot, so you can take a sneak peek underneath. Not quite ready.
This one, can you throw it up?
Sure, we can throw it up.
All the way to the ceiling.
I don't know if we're gonna throw it to the ceiling, but we can try.
Throw it all the way to the ceiling.
Oh, but then it'll stick up there.
Then we can jump on that part. It would flip down.
You think so? All right, so this is probably just about ready to flip.
Mom, flip it up.
And you could do another traditional yummy one is with some lemon and sugar. That's the way my mom likes to eat them. Sonny had a lemon and sugar one that he's liked before, right?
Mm-hmm. And throw it up all the way to the ceiling.
Okay, I don't know if I can go all the way to the ceiling, but we're gonna flip it right in the pan. So that's what it's gonna look like, a little bit brown on the back side. How's that look?
Good.
I didn't go to the ceiling, I apologize. This is a good time to put some butter on there.
And on that fan up there.
No, that makes too much noise. So we're gonna put some butter on this side, because butter's always wonderful, right, Sonny?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna put some sugar, le sucre, beurre et sucre. And in the mountains of France, next to Courchevel where we went, one of the traditional ingredients is a little bit of Grand Marnier, so you can put a drop of that on there as well. Oh, we're almost out of Grand Marnier. And let's take a peek on the bottom side, see what that looks like. It'll be ready in just a minute, and the back always looks a lot different than the front. It looks like freckles on the back.
Yeah, I know that.
It looks like freckles, right?
Yeah, let me see it.
All right, so we're gonna transition.
I never seen you do freckles.
You've never seen the freckles?
Yeah.
Let's grab a plate.
Burn. That means it's burned.
The freckles?
Yeah.
No, it means it's just right. So, yep, that's just right. Let's take a look. We're gonna stick this on our plate, and I'm gonna show you how to roll it up.
You have to roll it up with your hands. So whoop, whoop.
I would let Sonny do this, but it's actually really hot right now. So usually you can let it cool down. See those little freckles? That means it is perfectly cooked, right?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit late for the traditional goûter of 4 o'clock, but we're gonna have one before dinner anyway, right? And then we'll make the rest for dessert. Bon appétit.
Banana tea.
Hope you enjoy it.
I hope you enjoy your show. And